This video will show you in a real-world scenario how to connect your FortiGate firewall to a web server, and we're going to do a VIP port forwarding to the server. Have you tried turning it off and on again? So we have a FortiGate 60E. This is my lab firewall. We are going to test VIP, virtual IP with port forwarding. So we are going to connect through WAN 1. This Raspberry Pi that is on top here is connected to LAN 2. So we will try to access this firewall through the WAN port, and we are going to redirect port 80 and also some virtual IPs to this web server that is running on the Raspberry Pi 5. It's a completely factory reset. The only thing I've changed is to access through WAN 1. So we have administrative access through WAN 1. It's not recommended, of course, for a production environment maybe to have admin access to the WAN port, but here we are. We have HTTPS on the WAN port, and the Raspberry Pi 5 is connected through the hardware switch on port 2. And per default, it's getting an IP via the DHCP. To not go totally insane in this lab, we are going to change the redirect so it won't snag up the port 80. So yeah, we are going to use the HTTPS as admin, but not port 80. That is going to be forwarded to the Raspberry Pi 5. And not to get some headache, let's change it to dark mode also. So I'll hit apply and change that. Let's head over to our policy objects and virtual IPs. But first we need to see what IP got assigned to the Raspberry Pi 5. And we can do that if we click on the dashboard. You could add a DHCP monitor on the plus sign, but we can also check here under network, DHCP, and here we can see the Raspberry Pi 5 got 192.168.1.111. So that is the IP that the Raspberry Pi got by DHCP from this FortiGate on the LAN side. Let's start with making our VIP, virtual IP. So we go with create new, and here we can put a name. I will go with a VIP dash, and we can go WAN to RP5 for Raspberry Pi 5. Can write a comment if you would need some extra pointers what this rule actually does. So we can see, I'm going with VIP port 80 to Raspberry Pi 5. That is good enough. You can put a color on this object. And here when it says network interface, we will specify the interface where we are coming from, and that is a WAN 1. And we will do a static network address translation. So from one IP to another one, and I've copied the LAN side IP. And here we can see on top the WAN side that we are connecting through. So I will put this one in here. So we have the WAN IP. So when we access that, we are going to translate to the Raspberry Pi 5 IP. It's not going to be for every service and port, because in this case, we are going to map port 80. You have to be a bit careful here if I were to map every protocol, and we will lose connection to this firewall because the WAN IP would point directly to the Raspberry Pi 5 and not the admin GUI of this firewall. Alright, so the VIP is done. Now let's go to the firewall policy. We do need a policy still, and we can see it's completely empty here, only the implicit denies. So we go with create new, and for name we can go with VIP WAN to RP5. And incoming interface is going to be the WAN port, so in my case WAN 1. And the outgoing interface is going to be the internal switch on the LAN 2. What source is allowed on the incoming interface? Well, any source on the incoming interface. And what destination on the outgoing interface? Well, it's going to be the VIP object that we just made. So it's going to create an actual address object. So we will select that object in here for the destination. So you will not select, if you have an address already for your server, you will select the VIP object. Here we can check what service, and in this case it's going to be HTTP, and it's no NAT because it is already done in the VIP. It is a translation. Alright, so let's check in this browser here. If we go to HTTP 10.68.0.101, can we access this? No, we can't, because we haven't hit OK yet. So if we hit OK, let's try again. Let's give it a refresh. 10.68.0.101, and here we are. Welcome to Nginx. So we can reach this web server through our WAN IP. So the port forwarding is indeed working. So you need to do a VIP object and you need to create a firewall policy. Alright, but how if we maybe have some other static IPs? Maybe we want everything, not only port 80, to be mapped to this server. Maybe you want to access this via SSH or HTTPS. And you have enough of IPs that, yeah, let's just do 123. So 10.68.0.123 could be mapped directly to this device. So instead of 101, this is the virtual IP we are doing here, and we are basically making secondary IPs on this interface. So not just 101, we are also creating 123. We can map every protocol if we like. So let's check this out. So if we hit OK here, we should now be able to reach this device through this WAN IP instead. So let's try it out. If we go 123 here in the end instead, we can see that we still reach the web server. We can even refresh some to see it that is 100% working. You could also change some optional filters, and here we have source. So you could change, what source, IP or range or subnet, and even what service to let through this VIP. But it's more clean usually to have that in your firewall policy list. So you have everything at the same place when you so you have a good bird's eye over all your policies. So for example, you put the service and the source and destination here in the policy objects instead. That was it, guys. See you later. Bye bye.